U.S. military decided to do something very, very touching recently. They painted a Navy fighter jet, a Grumman F9F-8 Cougar, pink. And, of course, they did it for supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Oh, that's so touching. So it's a retired plane. They actually stopped using it in, I think, 1991. But, yeah, isn't that great? Aren't we such good people? Okay, here's why this is actually really disturbing to me. We're so insanely desensitized to war that we make ourselves feel good we make ourselves feel good about our flying machines of death. The whole fucking purpose of that machine is to kill people. It's to bomb people. It's to drop bombs on their face. That's insane to say. Well, okay, but no, come on, we're good people. We painted it pink because we care about breast cancer, because we care about humanity. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, what's wrong with us, man? What's wrong with us? And we covered the story recently. It's just popped in my head now of Obama going to, I think, Laos or Cambodia, and basically saying, yeah, anyway, are bad for dropping so many cluster bombs on you that, like, civilians are still dying today if they happen to walk on the wrong thing in the forest. And so he's like, okay, we're going to pledge some support and give you some money. Because what goes on is there was so much bombing, so sustained, for so long against civilians. And the way cluster bombs work is they don't all immediately explode at once. Some of them go on the ground, and then if you step on them at some point, boom, they explode. So we're, decades removed, and people are fucking dying and shit, getting maimed. And so we did that. Now, I don't know how old this bomber is, but perhaps it was used in that, in those missions. So something that killed civilians, and that was like the whole point of it. And now we're like, no, it's cool though. We're good people. Breast cancer is a problem. We care about humanity, so we'll paint it pink. How about just don't fucking bomb innocent people, and that's good enough for humanity? Like, again, we've become it's so commonplace for us to just kind of accept war and accept U.S. military propaganda that nobody stops and thinks about it and connects the dots and goes, shit, isn't that like the definition of pinkwashing? The whole idea of pinkwashing, like, okay, let's try to make ourselves look like good people as we do the wrong thing. Not to make an unnecessary pivot here, but when you talk about Israel, one of the things they always do is to excuse away the fact that they're doing occupation and apartheid and oppression of Palestinians and stealing more and more of their land. What they'll do is they say, but guess what? We have liberal values here, and liberal values are superior. I mean, look, we care about the gays. Savage Palestinians don't care about gay people. We care about gay people. So we're better. Shut the fuck up. Don't talk about our crimes. That's the implication. Like, oh, look, we're so good to gays and women. They're not. So shut up when we steal their land and we do apartheid. That's this kind of shit. It's, oh, yeah, no, we're good people. We care about breast cancer. So don't pay attention to the fact that this shit was used to drop bombs on civilians. Anyway. And then this also reminded me of the recent story. When I say recent, I mean like a year or two ago, that there was a new generation of fighter jets, the F-35, the next generation F-35. I don't know if they call it the F-35-2 or whatever it was. But the government spent $1.5 trillion creating it. $1.5 trillion making a fighter jet. And guess what? It didn't even fly. I'm not kidding, man. At the end of it, they look around like, oh, it doesn't appear to work. They spent over $1 trillion making this jet. It didn't work. That's insanity. Now, again, we're talking about $1.5 trillion wasted. At the same time, we can't get clean water in Flint. At the same time, our infrastructure gets a grade of D. At the same time, we have poverty. 76% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So talk about fucked up priorities, man. We're now trying to make ourselves feel good about our machines of death. And the scariest thing, for a lot of people, it works.